overall, which position group out there looks the best so far?
When you talk about the best, I mean, there are a couple that stand out. Obviously, Brandon Ayuk has been the best offensive player, but I don't think the wide receiver group, or I don't think the wide receiver group has been the best overall. The easy option is always the best team on paper, but I'm not going to go with that. I'm going to go with the secondary. The best group on paper is the defensive line, which has the best two players.
That's a good one, Eric.
Really
I like
funny.
that one. I
Really
like that
funny.
one.
Eric, you got my stamp of approval, man. Uh, but I'll go with the secondary because it's just been locked down. Charvarius Ward, Emmanuel Mosley had a great start to camp. Ward has been the best defensive player because I mean, I didn't count the defensive line over the first few days, right? Because of no pads. And so Ward has been the best defensive player overall. And the secondary has looked really good. And it's not only Ward, right? Mosley has also looked really good on the outside. I think both of those guys, regardless of what happens, should stick on the outside at cornerback. They're just very, very good on the outside. And so the Mosley to the nickel spot, I mean, I wouldn't mind it, but I'd say Mosley right now, you got to keep him on the outside. But overall, the coverage, you've seen a couple of coverage stacks in general. Yesterday there were 3 coverage stacks overall, and the good part about coverage stacks, I think that it just showcases how the symbiotic relationship between the defensive line and the secondary. How the defensive line helps the secondary out by getting there quick, while the secondary helps the defensive line out by holding coverage for 5-6 seconds so that the defensive line can get there and record the sack. So overall, I think the coverage has been phenomenal. It's been surprisingly really good, and that's something that I'm excited about because when you talk about what do you call it? When you talk about like this secondary compared to last year, you didn't think the secondary was going to jump up this well, especially after the amount of pass interferences last year. And many people wrote off Charvarius Ward, thought you're signing this guy over Stephon Gilmore, you're signing this guy over some of the other guys like J.C. Jackson. Charvarius Ward has looked the part. He's a $14 million corner.
I love it. And I love Swan Song. Sorry if I was laughing through your thing because he said I bought $200 on Ambry Thomas.
I saw the other one too.
Because you were so hyped. Definitely Swan Song, hold on to those. Ambry Thomas might not be a superstar quite yet, but in the next few years, I guarantee you he's going to get a lot of playing time and those cards will pay off. But yeah, and I mean, I think the biggest thing, Rohan, we obviously knew that a lot. We obviously saw this cornerback room as probably the best cornerback room that under the Kyle Shanahan era with the 49ers. And it's nice to see them actually producing, not only with their ability to do pass breakups, but like you were mentioning, we're seeing a lot more turnovers, which isn't something that is, I guess, prevalent in a 49ers, defense, is getting more interceptions. You talked about Ward and Mosley. Another discussion that we've had on this show is who is going to be the top 6, right? So can you mention maybe some other players out of that secondary that might be showing out that you feel like are possibly guys that will make the 53-man roster?
I'll start with the surprise because he's been the 3rd best corner behind the 2 you mentioned. Deommodore Lenoir. Deommodore Lenoir has been cornerback number 3 for the 49ers. I don't even think it's close right now. I think Deommodore Lenoir has been by far the 3rd best corner. He had a very good day today. He had 3 plays where he stood out. First, he was up against Danny Gray, the speedy receiver, and Lenoir isn't really a fast corner. He's more of he's a little bit of a slower corner with the nickel type of build to him. But that doesn't stop Lenoir from playing on the outside. He had a good rep in one-on-ones, pretty much won the rep against Danny Gray. And then when you talk about him today in the 11-on-11 scrimmage, he had 2 good plays. First, had an interception off a drop pass from Taysir Mack, returned it for a touchdown to the end zone, and then he also had it was a PBU. It was a good play by Brock Purdy. Austin Mack was in coverage. It was a good play, good throw, and Lenoir had a PBU. He's been looking good. I was a little surprised, honestly, yesterday when Lenoir didn't get the first team reps opposite of Kadar Holman, but I think they wanted to keep Lenoir and Thomas together yesterday. And then the second surprise that I'll say behind them too, the 4th best corner in my opinion, Tariq Castro Fields. Wow. He's the rookie, the 6th round pick He struggled in minicamp, but in my opinion, that was because he was playing slot, which I don't believe is his true position. His natural position is outside corner. He's been an outside corner, and he's been better than Ambry Thomas. And this is coming from a guy who also had high hopes for Ambry Thomas heading into 2022, just based on how he ended the year last year. But Thomas has struggled. He's had an up and down training camp, while Tariq Castro-Fields has looked better so far. Tariq Castro-Fields eclipsed him on the depth chart today. Thomas ran with the 3s. Castro-Fields winning with the 2s. So right now, if we're talking about those potential 6, I can't say with confirmation. But the one other point that I want to put out, a lot of fans are going to like it. I didn't anticipate it just because it'd been so like stuck with Denard with the 1s, Womack with the 2s, and then Johnson even at times with the 1s. Womack got first team reps today. He started in the nickel today, which was interesting to me. I don't know if that'll sustain. Maybe that changes on Thursday. Maybe that changes on Thursday or Friday, because the 49ers had a lot of different changes today. Like I said, the one with Castro-Fields, they're moving a couple of guys today with the rest days and stuff like that. But Samuel Womack might be on the uptrend right now, as he was slated to start in the nickel. But yeah, Castro-Fields look good. Those are the top 4 corners in my opinion right now.
That's awesome, and it's great to see these rookies coming out and performing, even though they were like later round draft picks. So that's great. Looks like the cornerback room is in good shape.